record, riding a 16-game winning streak and widely expected to cruise their way to an NBA Cup title. Everything about the matchup pointed toward another effortless victory. But then Victor Wembanyama stepped back onto the floor, and the entire narrative shifted. What was supposed to be a routine win suddenly turned into something far more intense, as his presence changed the energy, the momentum, and possibly the future of this matchup altogether.
Watched by Caruso. Wembanyama got it back, fires, and it drops!
The Oklahoma City Thunder weren't just beaten, they were humbled. At the center of it all stood a 7'5" phenomenon fresh off injury, surrounded by a fearless group of young Spurs who played without hesitation or respect for reputation. Oklahoma City arrived in Las Vegas for the second straight season powered by the same formula that fueled their record-tying 24-1 start. Overwhelming blowouts, relentless defense, and just enough late-game execution to close when it mattered. Their NBA Cup run had been dominant from start to finish. The Thunder went a perfect 5-0 in Cup play, winning by an average of nearly 25 points per game. That margin exploded in the quarterfinals when they dismantled the Phoenix Suns by 49 points. The most lopsided game anywhere in the league this season. Oklahoma City looked unstoppable, inevitable, and untouchable. San Antonio's path couldn't have been more different. The Spurs played half of their group stage games without Victor Wembanyama and still managed to win West Group C with a 3-1 record. They clinched their spot the day after Thanksgiving with a gritty road win in Denver. Then came the quarterfinals against the star-studded Lakers, a game San Antonio wasn't expected to win. Instead, the Spurs overwhelmed Los Angeles with a devastating three-guard attack. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and Devin Vassell combined for 63 points on 24 of 43 shooting, marking only the second time all three had been healthy together this season. Most teams simply don't have the perimeter defenders to survive that trio. But Oklahoma City isn't most teams. They defend in waves, aggressive, connected, and relentless. Their defense suffocates opponents, creates turnovers, and turns close games into blowouts without ever needing to outgun anyone. Still, just before tip-off, the Spurs finally got the news they'd been waiting for. Victor Wembanyama was back. After missing 12 games with a calf strain, the franchise cornerstone returned to the lineup. San Antonio had gone 9-3 without him, but against the defending champions, even with a strict minutes restriction, they would need every ounce of what he could give. The narrative heading into the game was clear. Oklahoma City was supposed to roll. This was expected to be another blowout. But it turns out all you needed was an alien. This wasn't a random regular season game. There was real incentive on the line, hundreds of thousands of dollars per player waiting for the winning locker room. And San Antonio played like it mattered. After a rough opening quarter, the Spurs took the fight directly to their Western Conference rivals, outplaying Oklahoma City in every quarter except the first. The Thunder may be reigning champions, but that meant nothing to Wembanyama and this Spurs group. They played with zero reverence and complete belief. San Antonio started slowly, missing open shots and falling into an early double-digit hole. Wembanyama sat the entire first quarter due to his minutes restriction, and it looked like things could spiral quickly. Then the second quarter began, and everything changed. Victor checked in and immediately flipped the game on its head. In just 3 minutes, he grabbed offensive rebounds, blocked a shot, dove on the floor for a loose ball, and sparked a 9-2 run that cut the deficit to 4. When Wembanyama returned to the bench, Oklahoma City surged again. That's the reality of his impact. He doesn't just affect possessions, he reshapes the entire game. Without him on the floor, that structure disappears. The Thunder outscored San Antonio 14-4 during the stretch he sat. But when Victor returned for the final 5 minutes of the half, the Spurs came alive once more. They closed the second quarter on a 13-0 run, flipping a game that once felt out of reach. At halftime, San Antonio trailed just 49-46, with Wembanyama posting an absurd plus 20 in a little over 7 minutes. The Spurs opened the third quarter without Victor, but the momentum stuck. De'Aaron Fox attacked immediately, giving San Antonio the lead, and a Devin Vassell 3 pushed it to 62-56, forcing an Oklahoma City timeout. From there, the game turned into a grind. The second half became a back-and-forth battle, with the Spurs finding ways to survive even during Wembanyama's rest minutes. Victor logged 13 minutes in the second half and began to look fatigued late, yet he remained dominant whenever he stepped on the floor. Oklahoma City responded behind elite defense and timely plays. Alex Caruso created chaos with disruptive stops that led to transition opportunities. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finished with 29 points, scoring in situations that barely seemed possible, while Jalen Williams was excellent as well. Still, this didn't look like the Thunder team that had just embarrassed Phoenix by 49. With just over 5 minutes remaining, Wembanyama checked in for one final push. The tension was unmistakable. The Spurs clung to a slim lead into the final minute, and things tightened further when a visibly fatigued Victor missed a free throw, leaving OKC just 1-3 away from tying the game. Spurs coach Mitch Johnson made a bold decision, intentionally fouling Chet Holmgren with 8 seconds remaining to prevent a tying shot from deep. Holmgren split the free throws, and the final moments became pure chaos. It nearly unraveled at the buzzer as Oklahoma City attempted an intentional miss and putback. Alex Caruso got a hand on the ball, but it wouldn't fall. Final score, Spurs 111, Thunder 109. Wembanyama's presence defined the game, but this was not a one-man performance. Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Devin Vassell all delivered massive contributions. Even players who didn't fill the box score made their impact felt. In a playoff-like environment, every possession mattered. Every rebound, every loose ball, every small edge carried weight. While Victor was off the floor, the Spurs understood the assignment. They won the possession battle, crashed the glass, forced turnovers, and used speed to turn chaos into points. With Wembanyama back, they leaned fully into the formula they've been building all season. San Antonio out-rebounded Oklahoma City, scored 16 second-chance points while allowing just 6, and despite committing 19 turnovers against one of the league's most aggressive defenses, still edged the Thunder in points off turnovers. Three-point shooting ultimately decided the game. The Spurs missed their first 12 attempts from deep, digging themselves into an early hole. But they didn't panic. They stayed committed. By night's end, San Antonio had hit 13 of their final 33s, finishing at a scorching 43%. Devin Vassell led the charge, knocking down 4 from beyond the arc. With both teams attempting the same number of free throws and San Antonio losing the turnover battle, the math demanded the threes eventually fall, and they did. Experience may still belong to Oklahoma City, but on this night, poise belonged to San Antonio. It all started with the perfectly timed return of their superstar. Coming off the bench for the first time in his career, Wembanyama finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks in just 21 minutes. The box score barely captures his impact. Once he checked in, Oklahoma City's offensive geometry completely changed. Shots at the rim vanished. Perimeter attempts became rushed and uncomfortable. Inside T-Mobile Arena, the overwhelmingly pro-Spurs crowd let him hear it. MVP chants rained down as the Thunder struggled to contain him. Even with limited minutes, the 7'5" Phenom scored 15 points in the fourth quarter alone. The on-off numbers told the story plainly. Plus, 21 with Wembanyama on the floor. Minus 19 when he sat. San Antonio's young core rose to the moment. Devin Vassell led all scorers with 23 points, while Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox each added 22. Castle carried over the aggression from his quarter-final breakout, relentlessly attacking the rim and delivering 2 massive buckets in the fourth quarter. Fox provided steadiness and calm, opening the third quarter with 3 straight baskets and later knocking down critical shots when the Spurs needed control. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. We already knew Victor Wembanyama was the future. The real question now is whether the future has already arrived. In a spotlight game against the defending champions, this young Spurs team didn't flinch, despite an unforgiving schedule that saw them spend 20 of the previous 22 days on the road, crossing more than 5,000 miles. For one night, the hottest team in the NBA looked human. Oklahoma City led by as many as 16 points but shot just 41% from the field and a brutal 24% from 3, snapping their franchise-best 16-game winning streak. The Spurs knew the Thunder were the league's best closers. They simply didn't care. As Stephon Castle said afterward, "People say the Thunder are unbeatable, but we come into every game feeling like we're unbeatable too." After this performance, that confidence feels earned. The NBA may have a serious San Antonio Spurs problem, and as Victor Wembanyama continues to ramp up, it could soon become a full-blown crisis. Do you think the Spurs can win the NBA Cup final against the Knicks? Let me know in the comments. And if you're planning to follow San Antonio's run all season, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. We'll be breaking it all down.